Good morning. Aloha from Florida. I mean, Hawaii. Been saying Florida so much that it's actually Hawaii right now for a little bit longer. Just a short and sweet video to promote this. And all of the Globers watching the video, their heads just exploded because they can't stand this. It's a death blow for the blue ball belief system. If you have not heard of this, I highly recommend it. 16 emergency landings proving flat Earth by Eddie Allen Carr. If you'd like to watch videos on this subject, check out Flat Earth Banjo on YouTube. Aviation only works on a flat and stationary Earth. Flat Earth is the default position for all technology. So check it out. Flat Earth is on the rise. People are discovering the truth of creation. Something fun to do is look at all the flight paths, not just the 16 emergency landings, but all of the flight paths, and compare them to all of the undersea cables on a flat Earth map. Look at all the undersea cables on a flat Earth map, look at all of the flight paths on a flat Earth map, and realize they make absolutely perfect sense. Put them on a globe. They don't make any sense at all. Because the globe is insanity. The globe is a delusion. The globe is a scientific absurdity. The Earth is flat, and that is an absolute scientific fact. Whether you want to believe it or not, whether you like it or not, it doesn't matter. The truth doesn't care about your feelings or my feelings. The truth is the truth. The truth makes you strong. Lies make you weak. Flat Earth is the truth. The globe is the lie. So once again, I highly recommend 16 emergency landings proving flat Earth by Eddie Allen Carr. So, aloha from Hawaii. I'll see you again soon. Peace.
Airplanes prove that you're not flying around a curve. So we could look at the pitch data, we could look at the attitude indicator that's attached to the gyroscope that maintains its rigidity in space. Planes typically fly at a positive pitch of about 3 degrees. So when you're sitting in the cockpit and the plane is slightly positively pitched up, we could still look out of the cockpit and see the horizon rising to eye level. So if we lived on the globe with the radius of 3959, the Earth should be curving down and away, but instead it ramps up to our eye level. So the attitude indicator that's attached to the gyroscope that maintains its rigidity in space proves the plane isn't flying around a curvature, because if it was, you would see the orientation change on the attitude indicator, and it doesn't. So the first law of gyrodynamics is rigidity in space. Going to Antarctica for the 24-hour sun, I think it's kind of crazy that it's 2024 and the Globers are so desperate that they have to go to Antarctica in 2024 to try to prove a globe by looking at the sky, because if there was solid globe proof, you wouldn't have to go to Antarctica in 2024 to try to prove anything. So that just shows me that they're really desperate. The globe is in shambles. The globe gets crushed every day. And speaking about the sun, if you want to try to prove the shape of the ground by looking at the sun, I have plenty of observations of the sun that debunk your 93 million mile away sun religion. So this is a sunset time lapse I did. I took a screenshot at the beginning and at the end with the solar filter. It changed 40%. There's plenty of other observations. This is Gotta Lie to Flurf, sunset time lapse with solar filter. Changed 24% in diameter in 43 minutes. Here's Peter Markley debunking his globe religion. His sun also changed 40%. You could see the angular size changing. This is average glober. His changed 20%. So like I said, I just took screenshots at the beginning and the end of the sunset time lapses. The sun was 93 million miles away, and the small rotation of the Earth during the sunset, the sun would never, ever change in angular size. Crepuscular rays prove the sun is a local light.
If you're a detective and you go to a crime scene, right, and like an unaliving, I don't like to use that word, but whatever, right, for the sake of argument, I will. If you go to an unaliving crime scene, you can tell that a crime occurred, right, just based on evidence. There's fucking blood everywhere. Like, you can tell that something happened, right? You don't need to know why. At that moment, just to figure out that a crime occurred, you don't need to know why it happened, right? Like if you check your safe and there's money missing, right? You can tell that somebody stole your money. You don't need to know who it was. or know why that they did it. You can tell that there's money missing, and this is what I'm saying. If you just focus on the evidence, you can tell that we've been lied to. We don't need to know why. We don't need to know who did it. That would be the next logical thing to do, would be to try to figure out why and try to figure out who did it. But just to figure out that a crime has occurred, you don't need to know why. The falsification is independent of replacement. We all know this. Like, it's very easy to figure out that you've been lied to. The rest of it becomes very speculatory, and that's where it gets unfortunate, because it gets into like theory and hypothesis as opposed to like concrete evidence. But if you only focus on the concrete evidence and just worry about, can you prove that the earth is a sphere? Can you prove that it's flat? Just focus on the evidence supporting both claims, or lack thereof evidence, and make a logical decision based off of that.
I need you guys to understand something. If space travel was real, they wouldn't let us know about it. They wouldn't let us see it. We wouldn't be so informed. Think about it. They don't let us see what's going on in Area 51. They don't let us know what's going on inside the Pentagon. We don't even know what's going on underneath the 16th Chapel. We don't know what really goes on inside the White House. So why is there all these secrets? But when it comes to space, we're just allowed to know everything? And they show us everything there is and tell us the complete truth? I don't know about that. I think the fact that they show us is evidence enough to let us know that they're lying. And the reason they tell us is because they know we're gonna see the rockets, if they really are rockets or balloons or whatever they are. These are our masters, the ones that taught us everything we know about everything we think we know. If it was real, they wouldn't tell us.
Can you tell me why the moon has never been spotted during any of the solar eclipses ever recorded? You can't ever see the moon in the sky during the eclipses. So does that mean that the moon is causing solar eclipses? Because according to the mainstream model, the moon is orbiting around Earth, and then it happens to sit in between the sun's rays and Earth, casting a shadow and causing a solar eclipse. But this doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me if we can never even see the moon entering the sun's path during a solar eclipse. You never see the moon moving in front of the sun or moving away from the sun. And the reason for this, according to the mainstream model, is that the moon is reflecting the sun's light. So because it's reflecting the sun's light, we can't see it when it's sitting right in front of the sun. Come on, look, I'm not telling you that I know what causes eclipses, but the mainstream model is a clear and deliberate lie to hide us from the truth. Google the Prague astronomical clock and study its movements. Study the motions, what the clock is representing. Notice how it's showing a small local sun and a small local moon. And the moon does seem to eclipse the sun. But it's odd. The sun and the moon are smaller and moving on a flat plane. Wow.
All right, man, y'all ready to zoom in 93 million miles away? Here we go. All right, let's zoom back out real quick first. All right, y'all ready? Here we go. Watch this right here. This is crazy, man. Look. Whoop. Let me slow down a little bit. That joker's zooming in fast today, son. There we go, right there. Check that out. Let me zoom on in that sunspot. It'll look a lot better. I'll post the actual raw footage, but look how this thing, whoop, whoop, whoop. Watch it though. Look, out of sight. Then we're going to zoom all the way back in. Look at there, dude. Check it out, man. Looking very orange today. Usually it looks more like white, like a light bulb. Which, I mean, that could be because I'm on the beach and everything too, you know what I mean? But normally I don't see this. It doesn't look orange. It always looks like a white light bulb, but pretty cool, man.
What's going on, everybody? So today's question is going to be a little bit different. not the political mumbo jumbo that I normally talk about, but have you ever noticed that whenever you see a spaceship or anything that goes up into space, a missile, rockets, whatever, you never see it, it's always in near Earth orbit. Why doesn't it ever go beyond that? Why can't we video beyond near Earth orbit going into space if it's so vast? And I guess there are these videos of them going out in space, still right in near Earth orbit. You never see the cameras, you never see the space, the craft go out into outer space. So I guess also too, my question for the day is, do we live on a round planet, or do we live on a flat planet that's contained and has a firmament and all this other stuff that I've been hearing? So there's an argument going around, flat, round, flat, round. I mean, I don't really know. I've never been up into outer space to verify, but there are some pretty good arguments going both ways. So if you have any comments or you want to add to anything to it, let me know. We never go out in near Earth orbit, so I don't know how we even got to the moon, but supposedly we did. But like I said, flat, round. What is the Earth?
So I just had a random thought, and I'm hoping that maybe somebody can help me out. Okay, so I just wonder why it is that when somebody talks to another person about flat Earth, or even just about whether or not the globe or space or any of it is real, why is it that a person who believes wholeheartedly that it's a globe get so angry? Why do they get so angry? Like, you rarely, I don't know, if ever, hear a person who believes that it's flat, or at least is not what they tell us, getting angry. Why do people who believe in the globe get so angry? Doesn't that make you wonder why it is that you have to get so worked up to defend something? I don't know. Am I the only person who thinks this way? I just find it very humorous. Somebody help me out. Tell me if you believe in the globe, tell me why it is that it upsets you to think that somebody doesn't agree with you.
I don't know who needs to hear this. I'm going to tag her. Coming from a girly who was an atheist her whole life, this is going to trigger some people. The flat earth movement. Don't come at me. Don't come at me. It's mind-blowing. The stuff coming out. The evidence, the proof, the Bible, everything is... I remember when the whole flat earth movement started, I was like 19, so like 10 years ago, I was like, holy a little crazy. But it has like given me, it's given me more, I don't want to say purpose, but it's like, it's definitely helped my mental health. Like, so much.
Telling you that the Bible is real, that the world is flat, and there's the waters above. Check this out. Right here, I have my pool raft, right? I have a towel over the holes, so it's just this one centered. Now, look what happens when I move the water here. See that? That is that hole. The water down here. Just move the water. Okay. Over here. See that? Okay. I'm glad you see that. Now look at a video of a star I took on my telescope. This isn't what I took through my telescope, but it is the same exact thing. This is with all the holes, but you can let me move the water a little bit. You can clearly see that it looks like a star. I know, it sounds absolutely insane. I'm gonna be honest with you, it really does. But the more you do your research and the more you look into it, and it makes total sense. Look at these Bible verses right here. I mean, come on. What does this Bible verse mean in Genesis? I mean, let's be real here. To me, it sounds like he's saying that there is water above, so as below. He separated it. We can also go to this verse right here, where it clearly states that he hovers above the circle of the earth. And a circle is not a sphere. A circle is something you have on a piece of paper. This verse right here is Daniel 4:11, where it says, the tree grew and became strong. Its height reached to the heavens, and it could be seen to the ends of all the earth. If the world is a globe, how would everybody see it? Let's be honest here. And also, why does it say the ends of the earth? Which, if it's a globe, there is no end, considering you keep on continuing and continuing to go around, right? This verse right here, in my opinion, is one of the greatest to prove the flat earth, because it says that a tree reached heaven, which is what he calls the firmament, which is the vault. And it says that it could be seen at all the ends of the earth. You know, let's actually back it up with another thought. Let's say the tree would be to take place in Florida, United States. How would people across the entire earth be able to see it? That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. You know, and I really think that it's funny on how Google is saying the Bible does not explicitly state that the earth is stationary. If that's the case, explain this verse. Psalms chapter 104 says, he set the earth on its foundations, it can never be moved. I will be making a part 2 to this, but here's over 200 Bible verses that say that the earth is flat or mean it. Have a great rest of your day. God bless, my friends.
Pay very close attention to the video that I'm showing you. This is a video of the sunrise, but just pay attention to what you're seeing. Because according to the mainstream model, the Earth is rotating at 1,000 miles per hour and then spinning around the sun, and this is what is causing this right here. The sun literally walking and clearly moving overhead independently from all of the wind currents and from everything going on in the atmosphere. Now, how is this possible on a globe model? It's not. And what is actually happening is something called parallel perspective, where you have an artificial horizon line created by your eyes, and everything converges into one focal point on that horizon line, and then beyond it you cannot see. So when the sun is setting, it actually sets beyond the vanishing point, and then when it is rising, you can see it moving closer to you, and it looks like it's rising in the sky, but it's just getting closer. It's not getting higher or lower. And also pay attention to star trails. Pay attention to the movement of the stars at night. You can quite literally go out there and sit there for 8 hours and watch the stars rotate overhead. 24 hours later, at the same exact time, that star that you just saw the night before will be in that exact same position. Because we've always had the same 12 star constellations rotating clockwise overhead, but since you're viewing it above you, it appears to be counterclockwise. On a globe model, this wouldn't make sense. Star trails would look like a bunch of chicken scratch and scribble. But in the firmament, it makes a lot more sense.
The flat Earth map dates back over 1,000 years. This map is credited to being created by a Persian astronomer. His name was Al-Biruni, and he lived between 973 AD to 1048 AD. It's the official map of the United Nations and also the United States Geological Survey. It used to be present in many places before the creation of NASA and the Antarctic Treaty in 1959. Here you see it with Admiral Byrd. This map has been restored by Dmitry from Russia with suggestions of mine, Eddie Alenkar. Known by my YouTube channel Flat Earth Banjo, I asked Dmitry to include the Bermuda Triangle and Point Nemo, a place deep in the Pacific where NASA buries rockets. Then Robert Tozzi, a professional mapmaker, came along and enhanced the map even more. There are many people now selling this map online, but if you could order it from my online store, I would greatly appreciate it. Visit my online store now and order one of the items. I humbly thank you.